Golden State Warriors season is not over yet. They've got 3 regular season games left. All of them are must-wins, but as of right now, the Warriors are actually predicted to finish in the 9th seed in the Western Conference, which means they could be facing a familiar foe that I do think a lot of Warriors fans are going to like. So I'm going to break down a potential play-in matchup here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports. You've got Allie Barefoot here, and these are the playoff probabilities for the Golden State Warriors with those last 3 games. They are predicted less than 1% to end up in 7th place, about 12.5% to end up in 8th. There's the moneymaker right there, 56% to finish in 9th, which is a great spot for the Warriors moving forward. And then 30% do say they're going to finish in 10th place. There is still a possibility if the Warriors just absolutely flop these next 3 games, they could possibly see themselves in the 10th place. But the good news is that since the Warriors won the series against the Lakers this regular season, they do own the tiebreaker over Los Angeles. So if they happen to have the exact same records at the end of the regular season, they automatically get 9th because of what they've done this year. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that, as 8th place, 12%, I mean, it's not 0. So, while we're about to break down a play-in matchup, I do want you guys to go on ahead and like this video for me if you want the Golden State Warriors to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. Because whether they end up in 9th or 10th, they're probably playing the Los Angeles Lakers in the play-in if they were to see themselves in either of those 2 spots. But here's a bigger picture, right? The Golden State Warriors actually have a 32% chance to make the playoffs. So a lot of analysts out there are actually predicting the Warriors to do well in the play-in, and I don't understand why they would never think that because they're on such a hot streak right now. The momentum is clearly on their side, so 32% to make that postseason after the play-in games, I'm going to take that. And I saw this on ESPN earlier today, kind of breaking down what everybody else is looking at towards the Western Conference standings. You've got the Phoenix Suns, who are in 7th place right now. 87% chance they're going to be in the postseason. 69% chance that the Kings are there as well. But here's what's super fun, is that right now the Warriors are actually in 10th place, half a game behind the Lakers in 9th, but they have a bit better percentage to make the playoffs than the Los Angeles Lakers do. So I think that's very interesting that a lot of Golden State Warriors are now speaking out as to if they have to play the Lakers again. I've loved this rivalry for a very long time. This could be payback for what the Lakers did to the Warriors last year. And I'm not the only one that thinks so. The leader of talking trash is always going to be Draymond Green. So he hopped on the Draymond Green show and actually discussed how he would feel if he had to play Los Angeles Lakers one more time. And he said, look, we've beaten the Lakers the last couple of times. The Lakers are always a tough matchup, especially having Anthony Davis on the court. That's always going to make a difference. I'm very confident that if we played them in a play-in situation, that we could win, that we will win. This is a confidence that I need from the Warriors moving forward. It's not just Dre. It's also been Thompson. It's been Curry. Steve Kerr says that this is probably one of the better Golden State Warriors teams that he has seen the past year or two. And they're really taking after what the Miami Heat did last season. Of course, they were the 8th seed, made it all the way to the NBA Finals, and that was the second time in NBA history that an 8th seed has ever done that. So if the Warriors were to end up in 9th and 10th place in the play-in, they would be fighting for that 8th seed in the playoffs. And one Warrior in particular thinks that that's all they need to make it to the NBA Finals. That Warrior, of course, is going to be Klay Thompson, saying we take a lot of motivation from the Miami Heat last year, who had to play 2 play-in games and made it all the way to the NBA Finals. I think we're capable of a run like that. We can't look ahead, but whatever happens, we will be ready. We know that it can be done, and there is no task that's too tall for us. And I truly do believe the Warriors are feeling this kind of momentum and confidence because look at what they've been through this season. So many suspensions, so many external factors, and they're still playing their best ball when it matters. Yes, they struggled from the months of November to maybe January, maybe even February. But since that All-Star break, everybody seems to know their role now, which is really important for the Warriors to move forward and have Steve Kerr hopefully lead them back to another NBA Finals. But these next 3 games, like Klay Thompson said, you can't look too far ahead because the Warriors must win. These next 3 games against the Blazers, the Pelicans, and the Utah Jazz. Next, I do want to talk about some free agents, including Klay Thompson, that could be facing a new team next season. And I want to talk about their futures and how the postseason for the Warriors this year could possibly impact where they play. Before I do that, I've got to break down our sponsor here on Warriors Today, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America right now. You know I'm talking about Prize Picks. If you guys want to play Prize Picks right now, all you got to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. And when you get there, all you guys have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less. That is it on their player projected stats, and that's how you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. There are a ton of teams right now, pretty much 29 teams, minus 1, the Boston Celtics, who are still competing for their spot in the playoff seeding. So I've got Jason Tatum having more than 23.5 points tonight. He's playing the Knicks, and I think Tatum is going to pop off. I got Draymond Green having more than half a three-pointer. He went 5 for 5 from downtown against the Lakers. They called him the Splash Cousin. I'm taking him to have more than half a three-pointer. And then I got Jalen Brunson to at least attempt 7 threes in the game against the Boston Celtics. These are my picks. Feel free to copy them, or you can make your own. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Using that promo code CLNS is going to get you a first-time deposit match up to $100. And there's quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. That's why I play Prize Picks, and you should too. Pick more, pick less. It is truly that easy. There are a couple of names on the docket here that are pending free agency this summer. They got Dario, Klay, Gui, Chris Paul, and Gary Payton. However, these last 3 are a little bit trickier because Gui and Chris Paul actually have non-guarantees. While Gui Santos is only for $2 million, Chris Paul's non-guarantee is for $30.8 million. And then you've got Gary Payton II, who's got a player option for next year. So I truly do think that how far the Warriors go in this postseason is going to affect whether or not they bring some of these free agents back, or if they say, thank you for your time, we appreciate what you did, good luck in your next season with the next team. The #1 person I want to talk about here is Dario. Dario completely declined this season for the Warriors. He was very steady, kind of rotating in at that 5 spot, and then it was just, I see no more of Dario. He's not even in the rotation, and Steve Kerr does not play him rarely anymore. So I think they don't re-sign him. I think they just thank him for what he's done for the organization, and they try to go get another bigger player for the NBA Golden State Warriors. However, in second, we got Klay Thompson. I do think they're going to re-sign Klay Thompson. He has voiced publicly and internally that he wants to come back and play for Steve Kerr and with Steph Curry, possibly through 2026. So I do think that if they were to re-sign Klay Thompson, I honestly, at this point, do not know how much money they would offer Klay. He's already declined 2 years, $48 million. I don't know if they're going to go above that, but that's why this postseason matters, especially if Klay Thompson handles his own in a lot of these really, really important games. Klay could make a name for himself with the Warriors for the next couple of years. The third player here is Gary Payton II. I do think that he accepts that player option. Gary Payton, of course, was traded away, and then he had some injuries, and they actually traded to get Gary Payton back. I think he's a fan favorite. I think he brings so much scrappiness and enthusiasm to the court when he does come on to play for the Golden State Warriors. And I know you guys saw that block that he had against Rui Hachimura in the Los Angeles Lakers game the other day. That is what I want to see from Gary Payton II. Plus, he'd be making more money next season than he is right now. He'd be making $9.1 million. He loves the Bay Area. He's expressed that. The fact that they went out and re-got him really makes me think that Gary Payton knows this organization does appreciate him, and he does everything that he possibly can to help the Warriors win. I think Gary Payton accepts his player option, but I do think they waive Chris Paul. I think $30 million is going to be a little bit too much, especially for a player that's about 38 years old right now. He's only getting older, and I don't think Chris Paul moved the needle as much as the Warriors thought he was going to when they traded him away, and of course gave up Jordan Poole over the summer and got Chris Paul from the Wizards. I think it's unfortunate because Chris Paul is now at that last couple of years in his NBA career. He might see a couple different teams moving forward, but I do think that there are teams out there that could really benefit from Chris Paul's leadership, his veteran skills, and still his backcourt abilities. I could see Chris Paul signing with the Orlando Magic, a team that wanted him by the NBA trade deadline, mainly for that veteran leadership. They've got a lot of young guys, a lot of young talent, and they got a cap space of over $40 million that's coming in this offseason. So I could see the Magic also picking up Chris Paul, but I could also see the Spurs. He's loved Greg Popovich. He's played with him for so many years. So I could see Greg Popovich allowing Chris Paul to come play in San Antonio with rookie Wemby and just finishing out his career in San Antonio. But if that doesn't happen, I think it'd be great to have him back with the Golden State Warriors, but $30 million is going to be a lot for a 38-year-old that really didn't do as much as I thought he was going to for the Warriors this season. So with those 4 free agents that I did mention, you can put Gui Santos in there as well. I didn't have enough time, so if you guys want to comment down below, predict the Warriors free agents' future. Do you think Klay Thompson resigns? Do you think they let go of Dario? Do you think they let go of Chris Paul? You guys let me know down below. I want to hear your opinions. And while you guys are down there, like I said, if you want the Warriors to beat the Lakers, which I know every single one of you that has made it this far in the video does, all you guys have to do is like this video.